An average day for Thomas. The engines on the island of Sodor are always busy. They like being busy. And they like being really useful. The engines do lots of different jobs. But most of all, they like to do specials. Many of which are ridiculous, like collecting bubble mixture for some random clown, or a present for Fatty's mother, or even worse, blown up balloons of all things. The engines think that by taking specials, they are really, really useful. Even though many of the specials they take are menial and pointless for a locomotive to do. How misguided they are. One morning, the Fat Controller came to Tidmouth's sheds, as usual.
I need an engine to take a... what's the word for it?
The engines looked puzzled.
It's a type of job that's usually observed, rather pointless. Could probably be done much more economically by another form of vehicle. A special, that's it.
The engines were all mildly excited.
The Fat Controller is bound to pick me because I'm the star of the show and everyone loves me,
peeped Thomas excitedly.
Pah! Don't you get enough specials as it is?
Wheeshed Gordon.
I mean, really, who is actually running your branch line?
What branch line?
Clarabelle, do you think Thomas will ever come back? I don't know, Annie. I just don't know.
Oh, that branch line. Well, who cares about that anymore? The novelty died after, season 3. Thomas, how about you?
Oh, what a surprise. Sir, don't you think he's had enough screen time as it is? And besides, he more often than not screws up any special he gets.
Oh, shut up, Gordon. I would love to, sir.
Tender kisser.
Jealous.
Good. I need you to collect some ingredients so that my wife can bake me a batch of biscuits.
Boomed the Fat Controller.
So basically you want me to do your food shopping? Pretty much. Now, first, you must go to Knapford Station where a tanker of chocolate syrup is waiting for you. Then, you must go to Brendam Docks to collect a truck full of sugar. After that, you must travel to Farmer McCalls' farm to collect a truck of milk. Then, you must take the whole lot back to my house. This is a very important job, Thomas, as I am rather hungry. So be patient and wait until everything is ready before setting off. But don't take too long. I'm practically dying of starvation here. I mean, look at me. I'm fading away,
said the Fat Controller.
I'll huff and I'll puff as fast as I can. I'll be a really useful engine and feed the fat man.
And Thomas wheeshed and whooshed away to collect the tanker from Knapford. Thomas quickly puffed into Knapford Station, where Percy was waiting for him with a tanker of chocolate syrup. Thomas buffered up to the tanker.
Hello, Thomas,
Percy wheeshed.
The shunter should be along soon to couple you up.
But Thomas wasn't listening to Percy, and Thomas didn't remember what the Fat Controller had said. He was more concerned with being a really useful engine, and finishing his job for the Fat Controller as fast as his pistons would pump.
I'll huff and I'll puff as fast as I can. I'll be a really useful engine and feed the fat man.
And Thomas steamed speedily out of the station before the shunter could couple him up. Thomas whooshed and wheeshed along the line to Brendam Docks. He rocked and he rolled, he huffed and he puffed, and he did other things that are already obvious to the audience and for some reason require alliteration and rhyme to be communicated. Soon Thomas arrived at Brendam Docks and pushed the tanker up behind the truck of sugar. Bulstrode the barge had brought the sugar from the mainland, and Cranky the crane had just finished unloading it.
The shunter is busy right now, and he'll couple you up shortly. And you need the shunter because you don't seem to have a driver or a fireman, or if you do, they're too incompetent to control you,
growled Cranky. But Thomas wasn't listening to Cranky, and Thomas didn't remember what the Fat Controller had said. He was more concerned with being a really useful engine, and finishing his job for the Fat Controller as fast as his pistons would pump.
I'll huff and I'll puff as fast as I can. I'll be a really useful engine and feed the fat man.
And Thomas raced out of the docks without being coupled up.
Silly little engine.
Thomas puffed through the countryside towards Farmer McCall's farm. The uncoupled trucks biffed and bashed into each other, but Thomas didn't notice. Soon Thomas arrived at Farmer McCall's farm, and he shunted the chocolate syrup tanker and the truck full of sugar behind the truck full of milk. Toby was there waiting for him.
Hello, Thomas,
He wheeshed.
Farmer McCall will be along in just a moment to couple you up.
But Thomas wasn't listening to Toby, and Thomas didn't remember what the Fat Controller had said. He was more concerned with being a really useful engine, and finishing his job for the Fat Controller as fast as his pistons would pump.
I'll huff and I'll puff as fast as I can. I'll be a really useful engine and feed the fat man.
And Thomas raced away with his train of cooking ingredients. Soon Thomas came to Gordon's Hill. The hill was steep, but Thomas huffed and puffed his hardest, and eventually managed to get to the top. Then there was trouble. Because the trucks were not coupled to Thomas, they rolled down the other side of the hill without him.
Oh crap, I knew I should have listened. Oh right, the trucks.
Thomas raced after the trucks. The 3 trucks rattled and roared and bumped and biffed down the line. Then there was even more trouble. The laws of physics momentarily kicked in, and as the trucks rounded a bend, they toppled off the track in slow motion. The sugar flew everywhere, the milk sploshed, and the chocolate splashed. It was a terrible mess. Luckily, no one was hurt, except for, the trucks that just hurtled off the line.
Oh no,
Cried Thomas.
I am a silly engine.
You bet you bloody well are.
Ah, shut up.
Conveniently, Emily just so happened to be puffing by, and the Fat Controller just so happened to be on board.
Thomas, you have caused confusion and delay.
Oh, how original. I'm sorry, sir.
Wheeshed Thomas.
I wanted to finish the job as fast as I could so you could have your biscuits. But I forgot what you said about waiting until everything was ready, and I wasn't patient. And now I've ruined all of the ingredients. I am a very silly engine.
Then, an idea flew into Thomas's funnel.
I know. I'll puff back to Farmer McCall's farm, then back to Brendam, and then back to Knapford as fast as I can. But I will also be patient and wait until everything is ready. Then I'll take everything to the Fat Controller's house just in time. Yeah, 'cause there's bound to be another chocolate tanker at Knapford, another sugar truck at Brendam, and another milk truck at Farmer McCall's.
Oh, don't be such a pessimist.
Wheeshed Thomas, and then he puffed away as fast as he could. So Thomas puffed back to Farmer McCall's farm. Then back to Brendam Docks. And then back to Knapford Station. And each time, he was patient and waited to get coupled up. Finally, he took all of the ingredients to the Fat Controller's house, just in time. The Fat Controller was waiting for him.
Well done, Thomas. Thanks to you, I will now be able to eat plenty of biscuits this evening and I won't die of starvation. And despite screwing up everything and causing thousands of dollars worth of damage through plain stupidity, not to mention causing confusion and delay, you are a really useful engine.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Said Thomas, and he smiled from buffer to buffer.